How about revolution? And he said, why? All right, beautiful day, beautiful day. Let's grab TikTok. We're going to talk about, well, we're going to do our Wednesday homeschool Q&A, but we're going to mix it up. We're going to talk a little bit about teaching children there, right? Something I'm so passionate about. Just posted a video about that a little while ago. It doesn't look like that video is really taking off, but hey, I can't control what takes off. And ultimately, it's what the people like. I don't know. I don't control what the people like. And I'll tell them what they should like. All right, let's grab you. And I said, TikTok, what you doing today? Good morning, Foster Bear. It's a beautiful day for our homeschool Wednesday Q&A. I love it. Let's do homeschool. We need a title on this. Let's go homeschool Q&A. Q&A. Could I fit in plus Bill of Rights? No. Not maybe plus July 4th. Plus July 4th. All right. And so it begins. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, TikTok. You are here with YouTube, and it is another absolutely splendid day here in the beautiful and always sunny South. The birds are chirping, the squirrels are running around, my plants are growing and reaching their little green leaves out to the sun so they can do photosynthesis and then grow me delicious, healthy, nutrient-filled food that we should all have, which is why we should all use the talks of a food shortage or, whatever could happen, but hopefully doesn't happen, as a teachable moment, a learning opportunity to plant our own gardens. And there is no better environment to educate a child than out in a garden, whether it is planning, organizing, developing skills, constructing, preparing garden beds, learning about nature, studying soil biology, studying about photosynthesis. A garden is a wonderful place to educate your children, so don't hesitate to do it. If you need guidance, we do have our year-long nature unit study, which lays everything out for you and what you could do. But today is our homeschool Q&A. You have questions. I may or may not have answers. And fire away, and hopefully I can help you out. Because more and more people are discovering that they are fed up with what is happening in the public school system. And it's not so much that the public school system does the things that we all know the public school system does wrong. It's not just that they want to teach our children certain things that are, at the very least, age inappropriate, right? That none of us are comfortable with, but you're not allowed to speak out against, right? So people are upset about that. People are upset about, they teach a curriculum which fundamentally from its base level is actually designed to divide children, to get them to view each other as different, which is the opposite of what they say, but we all know what they do. But it's worse than that, because on a deeper level, what school is really teaching is that truth comes from authority. And the example I've used over the last 2 years is the situation where certain schools are requiring their students, their teachers, to inhibit their ability to breathe. And it's not so much just that they're going along, or they went along with the whole tyranny situation, but it's on a deeper level. If that is what the school is doing, if that is the school's policy, if the school is not allowing parents recourse to really question what the school is doing, then when your children go to school, when they are in a classroom, is that school going to teach your children to question those authorities, or is it going to teach your children that those authorities are in place to protect them, looking out for the best interest of your children, and therefore they are above reproach? And I think it's the latter. I think these schools teach children to trust authority rather than to question authority. And that is the most dangerous lesson of public school, teaching your children that authority is there looking out for their best interest. Well, I have tons of history which says the opposite, right? I could show you something that happened in Tuskegee, which, at the very least is alarming. I can show you the Trail of Tears. I can show you internment camps. I can show you the Wounded Knee Massacre. I can show you the Gulf of Tonkin lie used to start the Vietnam War. I mean, a lie that led to the deaths of millions of people. I can show you the babies in incubator lie, which prompted America's involvement in the Gulf War. I can show you the weapons of mass destruction lie, which led to an invasion into the Middle East, right? So if the system is teaching our children that it is above reproach not to question authority, then it is setting your children up for an event that could happen later in life where they are unable to question the doctrine of authority, and it puts them in a really bad situation. And to me, that is the biggest failure of the public school system. Children are not taught to question authority. Well, speaking of questioning authority, July 4th is a great teachable moment, one that we as parents can really take advantage of. And I made a video about that actually on 2 of my channels today. I also posted it on Instagram. And I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about how to use July 4th as a teachable moment. By the way, this is our homeschool Q&A. If you have any questions, fire away. I will answer them. So with July 4th approaching, it's a great teachable moment because your children will ask you, why do we celebrate July 4th? Why do we shoot off the fireworks? And it's really compounding because, yes, question everything. It's really a compounding effect because every year when your children see those fireworks, if you associate the American Revolution and the Bill of Rights and teaching children the Bill of Rights with July 4th, right? If you associate teaching children their rights with July 4th, then every year those fireworks will actually serve as a trigger, which will trigger your children to remember, oh, this is why we celebrate July 4th. We have our rights. What state am I in? Well, I can't answer that question because, unfortunately, people threaten to hurt me. So I've learned to not talk about what state I'm in. But I am in the southern United States. And I've had personal attacks, really at a real sleazy level of people trying to hurt me, and, targeting. So anyway, southern United States. Yeah, you get how it is. The internet, when there's no preparing a person for when you actually start to blow up on the internet, because there are a lot of people in society in a really low, depraved mental state, and they are man, it's unbelievable the stuff I've dealt with. And not even that I'm a big creator. I'm a tiny little fish in a large sea, and I've dealt with that. So the really big creators, I could only imagine the stuff they deal with. It's quite astonishing. Quite astonishing. Hey, Melissa. So with July 4th approaching, it's a great opportunity to teach our children about the Bill of Rights. And one of the books I really love for children, definitely elementary school, probably younger. I actually have the book for my 4-year-old, and I'm going to start reading it today with him, and I'll see how he does. But the July 4th story. If you go onto Amazon, you look up the July 4th story, real cool children's book, easy read, designed to teach children about the American Revolution, where our rights come from. And I think it's a really great teachable moment for you if you have children in that kind of elementary, middle school range, to get them the July 4th story, read it with them 4 or 5 times before July 4th. I'm going to start with my son today on the July 4th story. And then, depending on your child's age, right, all this matters, but like, what you can do is pick one amendment a night. So read the July 4th story like once a week leading up to July 4th. Then choose one amendment a night and just go over that amendment. Like before bed, we're going to go over, or you could do it during the day, we're going to go over the First Amendment and focus on free speech and just have a talk on free speech. And the next week, do the Second Amendment and have a talk on the right to bear arms, right? And you're getting your children, you're prompting your child to think about these things as you read them the July 4th story. For younger children, there's a book that I actually just came across. I didn't know about until this morning. But Connor Byock, the author of the Tuttle Twins book series, he actually made a Tuttle Twins for Toddler series. And he has a book called The ABCs of the American Revolution. The ABCs of the American Revolution. So at little as toddlers, you can literally start teaching them this stuff. So you read them the ABCs of the American Revolution if they're younger, the July 4th story if they're a little older, elementary school, middle school. You go over one constitutional amendment each night, and that ultimately leads to July 4th, and then they'll understand what's being celebrated. And the best part is, every year when those fireworks go off, they will associate your previous teachings with July 4th. It will prompt them to think about what they had learned and to remember their rights. Very powerful association with those fireworks going off in the sky. For those of you interested, my wife also made a poster, which you can find at classicallearner.com. And that poster, you can put it right on your child's wall. Actually, it goes over the 10 amendments to the United States Constitution, the Bill of Rights, so that every day your children will see, okay, free speech, freedom of religion, the right to bear arms, and whatnot, right? The right to a trial. So that poster serves as a good prompt as well, and you can find that at classicallearner.com. Do you have a step-by-step style curriculum for parents to use? I don't want to teach the wrong thing. In terms of what I have right now, we have a year-long nature unit study, which is a 52-week study of nature in which children are gardening, planting their own seeds, building greenhouses, constructing garden boxes, constructing ladybug feeders, making bumblebee baths, making their own fertilizer out of bananas, fertilizer out of eggshells, composting. 52 weeks. They're not only doing that, but they're learning photography, art, construction, videography. They're getting entrepreneurial experience. So last week, the lesson plan was all about flowers, and it actually guides children to starting their own summer flower business and then selling them at yard sales, selling them door to door, selling them to local garden centers, or selling them to a farmer's market. I offer classes on the Bill of Rights and the American Revolution. So I have a course, the Bill of Rights and the American Revolution. I have a course on propaganda that I teach using the Cubs to Bears children book series. I have a course on the media industrial complex. And on top of that, we have state groups where you can connect with people in the state that you live. We have a great community of homeschool parents, and we have a pen pal program, and that's only touching the beginning of what we have. I'm planning on doing some really big things for the start of the new school year, but I'm playing them close to the vest. And in terms of getting a curriculum that, this subject, ABC Jesus Loves Me is completely free. The Easy Peasy All-in-One Homeschool is completely free, and they do have full curriculums laid out subject by subject. The Khan Academy has full curriculums laid out subject by subject. It's completely free. Other curriculums I really like, The Good and the Beautiful, Classical Conversations, My Father's World, Apology of Science I like is a good one that I'm probably going to use with Brady. I like the KiwiCo Science Company. I order from them monthly. It's like $19 a month, and they send me science boxes every month that Brady absolutely loves. He's 4 years old, so KiwiCo is a really cool company. So yeah, a lot of. I hope that helped in terms of answering your question, and a lot of cool stuff. And for those of you interested in my stuff, classicallearner.com. It's Homeschools Connected, and if you use the discount code FREEDOM, it's literally $10 a month. So if you don't like it, you'd be out $10 and you could drop it. But the truth is that people like it, and we have a great, thriving community, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. So hope that helped answer that question. I particularly appreciate questions that are about my curriculum because that helps me talk about my stuff. But I'm here. I'm here to talk about whatever you have. If you have questions about homeschooling, I'm more than happy to answer them. So I can't find the poster. Yeah, if you go to classicallearner.com, click on the Cubs to Bears section. So that will take you to the books. Scroll all the way down below the books, and you'll see the poster. I have a picture of the poster below the books. And my wife made that, and I'm very proud of her for a really cool thing she made. Glad I caught this. I'm about to start searching for some new stuff for my kiddos. Do you do anything for co-ops? Yes, we do. I'll talk about what you can do, and then I'll talk about what we offer in terms of co-ops. So the first thing you want to do is go on Facebook. I don't like Facebook as a company. They have great tools in this regard. Do a Facebook search and see if there are any Facebook homeschooling groups in the area that you live. A lot of times there are. If so, that's great. Let's say there's not. You can call local zoos, museums, aquariums, Bounce You, Altitude, any children type thing. Ask them, do you host homeschool events? A lot of times they do. Oh, also local gyms. Because local gyms often host homeschool gym classes, right? So gyms as well. Call them up. Do you host any homeschool events? A lot of the time they do. If they do, go say, when is it? Show up on that date and network. Another option is to call a few local churches or go to local churches, ask them if they affiliate with or know of any homeschool groups, because often they do things with the local homeschool groups in their church. So they'll offer classes or something like that for homeschoolers in their area. Great. Can you get me into contact with those homeschoolers? Absolutely. Now you have a homeschool group. Another option is Homeschools Connected, which is my company, classicallearner.com's Homeschools Connected. We actually have state groups. So in all 50 states, we have an Ohio group, an Indiana group, a Wyoming group, a South Dakota group, a North Dakota group, every state. And you could connect with people in those state groups. And we've actually had people meet on Homeschools Connected and have meetings in the real world, which is super cool. And something that was a vision of mine and has now come into fruition. And this is only the beginning, because this is our first year of Homeschools Connected. Our growth has been rapid, and I'm very blessed and thankful for that. And as we continue to grow out, eventually we're going to have homeschool co-ops, full-out co-ops in every state. And once we have full-out co-ops in every state, I will be able to serve as a quarterback or a coach. And the things we're going to do will be absolutely amazing. And I'm so excited about it. And this is only the beginning of what we're doing. So it's the future is very bright. And I think, the people that are here see that. Are you taking into mind what I told you about teachings worldwide? I am not. What did you tell me about teachings worldwide? We still need to I did edit her. I edited. Nicole has made a game to teach children about plant identification and herbology, and I did edit it one time, and it took me about 3 hours, and now I have to edit it the second time. You being teachers. I'm sorry, I'm still not understanding. You can't be on camera, you don't have a shirt on. Yes, so you know the book I told you about?
Yeah.
You cannot be on camera. The book I told you about, this is the 4th of July story. I'm showing the people as well. This is the book I was talking about. I knew we had it, so I was able to find it. So we're going to read this today. You excited?
Yeah.
So, oh, go on.
Dad,
Yeah.
could you ask the people if they have one of those books? If they don't, just send them one of those.
Brady wants to know if you have the 4th of July story, and if not, he wants to send you the 4th of July story because he's the man. But yeah, this is that book. I actually bought this last year when Brady was 3, and we did it a little bit, but it was a little complex. But I think this year it's... you cannot be on the camera. This year, I think it will be very good for a 4-year-old. Definitely by elementary school. Very appropriate. And no, I have no affiliation with this book. I don't make any money off this book. Blah, 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 yada, yada. It's just a very good book.
Dad,
Yeah.
bring your chair back.
Which chair?
This one.
You want to sit right here? Yeah, pull it a little bit this way.
Did you bring this chair back?
Yeah, pull it this way.
Did you bring the chair from inside back?
No, I didn't move the chair inside. I think it's still in there. I was wondering what that chair was doing inside.
Which chair?
There's a chair in the living room. An outdoor chair.
Then you couldn't move.
Could there have been a little monkey maybe jumping on the couches and he wanted a chair? Is that what happened?
No.
Oh, it's not what happened?
No.
Was it magic?
Yeah.
Oh, it was magic. Magic how the chair got in there. Yeah, this is the 4th of July story.
I'm trying to fix this.
You ready, Brady?
Dad, look, this is broken. I'm trying to fix the base so I can put the top on. So
Yeah, how do you think we could fix that?
we need to, you know what? We might need to return it to the store.
To return it?
Yeah.
Do you think we could fix it?
No, I think we need to return it.
Well, if there was any tool that we could use to fix it, is there anything you could think of?
No, it needs a special tool. The special tool store has that.
What about tape?
Tape won't hold it long. The tape will just fall off.
What about glue?
Then we will have to wait for it to try one more time. Look, Dad, I fixed it.
Wow, look at that. All right, so now all we have to do is put some glue right in those edges, right? And I think we might be able to fix it.
Wait. So it's like this. It has to be like this so it could go on. Watch.
Well, Mommy has some glue because she just fixed something with it. So after the stream, maybe we'll try to fix it. And we'll read this book.
What do you want to see now?
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
The birthday of our country. It was the 4th of July in the city of Philadelphia more than 200 years ago. I just can't have you on the camera. Children who live near the State House must have seen candles lighted there on that stormy afternoon. Something wonderful was happening in Philadelphia. This 4th day of July, 1776. It was the birthday of our country. After that, the children were often to hear the voice of the bell that hung in the tower of the State House.
Is that the bell?
That's the bell. Once it even woke them at 3 o'clock in the morning, and always the bell seemed to say, "Liberty throughout the land, liberty to all the people." But I'll tell you what.
Is it a talking bell?
I don't think the bell literally said it, but maybe, maybe. So we're gonna finish this book after the stream, okay? Am I vegan or alkaline? I am not. I have tried veganism at points in my life. I've also tried vegetarian at points in my life. But what I have found is that the healthiest diet involves eating meat, and to the point where not only do I think that we need to eat meat, but I don't trust the meat in the stores. I don't trust how it's raised. I don't trust the antibiotics that it's given. I don't trust the preservatives. I don't trust the labels organic. So over the next 18 months, I will be starting not only just my own chicken operation for eggs, but I will also be raising and slaughtering my own chickens. So I am definitely not a vegan. And I know that might rub people in the wrong way. I don't care. I speak the truth. And the truth is that it's very difficult to eat healthy in this world because we can't trust the authorities that are supposed to make sure our food is safe. And that includes vegetables, that includes everything. And if you want to make sure that you and your family can eat healthy, you better know your farmer or you better do it yourself. Nice, Papa Bean. Any tips for a public school mom? I'm lost on how to homeschool and what it should look like. Well, to start, do not try to replicate public school. Public school fails children on a large scale, so you don't have to replicate what they do. And in fact, you don't need nearly as many hours of formal schooling a day to achieve the results that public schools achieve. In fact, your results will be better. And to start, you probably need 1 to 2 hours at most formal education a day. So you don't have to go crazy. Yeah, sure, get a curriculum, let it serve as a guideline. But ultimately, what you want is to figure out what your children are interested in and start to structure their education so that they could study things that they want to learn about. When my kids are out of school, I will still be a part of Homeschools Connected and invest $10 in y'all. Melissa, you're quite an amazing person, and Melissa has a lot of children, so she's her kids will be in school for a while. She crushes. We try to be as healthy as possible, but we eat a little bit of everything. How old are your children? You don't want to try to replicate public school. No, you don't. Just curious because I found the page today. Thank you for sharing. I never know because when a lot of times when the vegans come and asking questions, like if you go against the doctrine of the vegans, they're like, talk about churchian. They attack, you know. I have similar age kids and I'm more focused on learning by doing. And that's why I talked about the nature unit study where the children have been gardening and building greenhouses and constructing garden boxes and making at-home fertilizer. And as they do that, studying photosynthesis and soil biology. And no matter what type of learning it is, ultimately, homeschooling gives you the ability to teach through hands-on experience and through doing. Brady can't.
I know, but we're looking at a spider web, not on camera.
Okay.
The spider caught some bugs and wrapped it all up, and then he's gonna munch on it later.
Yeah, I mean, you can learn math through cooking. I mean, all you have to do is type in, do a Google search, math with cooking for kids. And like, you'd be amazed at what comes up. There are curriculums and resources and how-tos for everything you can do. And ultimately what you want to do is follow the interest of your child and just use that to embed whatever you want them to learn, and ultimately focus on skill development, construction, engineering, art, music, photography, videography, and get them entrepreneurial experience using those skills. So if they learn photography, you have them start a seasonal photography video come October. Seasonal photography business come October. I heard somewhere to focus on math, reading, and writing. Yeah, I mean, listen, with early childhood, like, you could teach them other things too. Like, you could teach them about the weather and the seasons and how to read clocks and, all those fun kindergarten things. But ultimately, if their childhood, if they get good at reading, writing, and mathematics, that gives them the foundation they need to ultimately learn about everything else. And you just want to focus on critical thinking and the process of learning. Don't focus so much on memorization. And it doesn't really matter, like, oh, the Department of Education said they have to memorize this in first grade. Like, who cares? Why? They're just going to forget it by fourth grade anyway, right? Have you ever watched that show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Like, nobody knows any answers. It's because it's not real learning. It's just memorization, and then you forget it. So what really matters is the process. Reading, writing, arithmetic, critical thinking, problem solving. Like, the arbitrary dictates of these losers at the Department of Education, it's really not that relevant. Yeah, they help with cooking, baking, laundry, gardening. Exactly. I have 5 kids. I have one spirited child, and I can't get to do anything. By spirited, I mean feral. Well, where's the feral patriot when we need her? One of our great group members is the feral patriot. Well, what are they interested in? Can you start focusing on their interest and using that to get them to do what you want them to do? Like, not all children are meant to focus on every subject. I'm watching my 4-year-old push my 1-year-old in a swing, and it's probably the cutest thing I've ever seen. Just from this angle, and like, oh, they're having fun right now. Just curious if the homeschool is accredited in any way, just like recognized. So first of all, we have to discuss what accredited means. Accredited means that the people that put together a homeschool curriculum have a physical location, and that state or federal accreditors have come by to confirm that their curriculum is in accordance with the Department of Education. Accredited curriculums you could find include a BECA, a Time for Learning. There's not, most aren't accredited. Mine is not accredited as well. And the truth is that most people don't want accredited curriculum that's approved by the Department of Education and their accreditors. And most colleges, there are some that care about that, but the overwhelming majority don't care for accredited. The overwhelming majority don't care for accredited curriculum. In fact, most homeschool students who are in college didn't use accredited curriculum. What matters with a transcript is you have to document that you covered all of the state mandated subject matter. So like, if you live in Wyoming and Wyoming says you have to cover this subject, you have to be able to show you covered that subject. You want to be able to show portfolio work, grades, and those grades can be given by you, but portfolio work, grades, maybe some materials that you use to teach those subjects. You want to be able to show extracurriculars. So was your child on a sporting team, in a theater club, and you want to have references, at least 3 references outside of the home that are willing to write letters to the college saying, I recommend that you admit this child into this young man into your college, that they are, a fine young person. They worked for my pizzeria for 3 years. They volunteered at my soup kitchen for 3 years. They were a member of my church, whatever. And if you have those things, you should be fine with getting your children into college. You channel that energy by figure out what your child wants to do, and then just make it educational. And then obviously, like, if they're spirited to the point where they're like, no, I won't do anything, well then, then you might have to get tough on them. Like, tough, it's not bad to be tough on children if they don't want to do anything, but generally, if you work with them and follow their interests, you could get them to do some amazing things that they want to do. Yeah, I also, like, I don't buy into that idea that, like, oh, children need no structure at all, and, like, don't make them do anything. Like, no, structure is good. Like, structure helps children figure out how to get along in the world, which is important. Like, you don't want a child that's interrupting adults and being rude. Like, no, there's structure. Like, be respectful of people. And so, like, all structure isn't bad. There are certain things that, like, oh, your child doesn't want to do math at all, maybe. Well, you do have to learn some basic mathematics. And I know some people, they disagree with that, and that's fine. Like, I don't think there's any one right way to educate a child. You can do that, but in my home, I actually appreciate structure. If we homeschool, how do we combat the social side of things? Treat socialization like math and science, like make it a priority. Get yourself a socialization accountability checklist. Is your child on a baseball team? Are they in a gymnastics class? Do they go to a church class every Sunday? How often do they go to the park? Are they going to the park twice a week? Do you have play dates for them every week? Are you taking them to museums and aquariums, out to restaurants, into town? And if you do these things, why is socialization an issue? And it's not. Oh, dude. Icy water.
I'm melting.
It's hot out there, girl. It's hot out there. Hot tomato.
Alright. I feel refreshed. Have you been getting bit by mosquitoes?
Yeah.
No? Me neither. Because the guy came and sprayed.
Oh.
He told me we get a free touch-up. Well, I guess one free spray if I get bit. And I said, great, I'll see you in a week.
If you get bit. All right. Family events, festivals, library, park, pool. All good ways to meet people. Co-op. Yeah, co-op is obviously great for socialization. So all of that stuff works. And if you take socialization seriously, then it's really not an issue. So, all right, I mean, I think that covers what I wanted to talk about today. I don't want to go too long today because I have a few things I want to take care of. And I have to film something for this week's nature unit study. I just have to film the class. I put together the whole lesson plan, so I want to film that because I have to film it, edit it, and then get it out. I want to get that out today if I can, so that our members have the nature unit study, and then I want to. I tilled an area for the garden, and I want to plant some plants into the ground as well today. So I have a few things I want to take care of, and I think I'm gonna cut it a little short. What, babe? Now that's hot. Nicole's in a good mood. So, all right, guys, if you're interested in what we do, it's classicallearner.com. Homeschools Connected, $10 a month with the discount code FREEDOM. You get access to our year-long nature unit study, which is great for the summer. My course on the Bill of Rights and American Revolution. My course on propaganda that I teach using the Cubs to Bears children book series. Our study into the media industrial complex. Our Pen Pal program. Our state groups. And everything we have to offer. So Homeschools Connected, promo code FREEDOM, all lowercase, $10 a month. You can find me, Classical Learner, on virtually everything. And I should be back tomorrow at 9:30 a.m., although I do have a live class that I teach on Thursdays at 10:30 a.m., and if I feel like I need the time, then I won't be streaming. So, but probably tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Melissa's judging me, so I'll see what I can do. And yeah, Classical Learner. Freedom isn't free. We have to earn it every day, and I will undoubtedly be back tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, maybe, to earn it. Peppering me with nickels. Love it. I love it. I love it.